Hey there, my friend. It's Emily, and welcome back to English in Ease, your calm, friendly corner for mastering English, one natural conversation at a time. Whether you're just starting your journey or you've been learning for a while, I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're diving into something I know a lot of us think about. How can I really speak fluent English in 2025? You might be wondering if it's even possible. You might feel stuck, unsure of where to begin. But let me tell you this, fluency is absolutely within reach, especially in 2025. With all the tools and support we have now, it's more possible than ever before. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through practical strategies, mindset shifts, and personal encouragement that will help you speak English clearly, confidently, and naturally. This won't be just another list of generic tips. We're going deep. We'll talk about real obstacles and how to overcome them with real solutions. And along the way, I'll share some stories, ask you questions, and invite you to reflect. Just you and me. So, let's get cozy. Grab a cup of tea, take a breath, and let's begin. You might be asking, why does fluency in English matter so much right now? And that's a great question. Let's be honest. English isn't just a subject we study in school anymore. It's a global tool. Whether you're applying for a job, attending international conferences, exploring the world, or even just scrolling through your favorite videos online, English is everywhere. Being fluent in English isn't about perfection. It's about connection. Think about it. If you're hoping to work for a multinational company, fluency in English could be the one thing that helps your resume stand out. It's not just about being able to understand your boss's emails. It's about expressing your ideas in meetings, negotiating deals, and building relationships. English is the shared language of global business, and even beyond work, imagine traveling. Whether you're in Tokyo, Madrid, or Cape Town, English is often the language that brings people together. You're at a cafe, trying to order breakfast, or you're lost in a train station looking for the right platform. In those moments, your English becomes your passport to confidence. But there's another layer, and maybe this one is the most personal: access to content. So many of the world's books, movies, documentaries, podcasts, even shows on platforms like TikTok and YouTube are in English. When you're fluent, you're no longer just watching. You're understanding. You're feeling. You're laughing at the same jokes, getting the same references, and feeling part of something bigger. That's why I want you to stay with me in this episode. Because the path to fluency is not as far away as you might think. And I promise, it's not about having perfect grammar or a fancy accent. It's about learning to express yourself clearly and comfortably, just like you would in your native language. Now, let's talk about something important. I want you to be honest with yourself here. What's been holding you back from speaking fluent English? For most learners I talk to, it often comes down to 5 common challenges. Let's go through them together. And I want you to think about which ones feel familiar to you. 1. Fear of making mistakes. This one's huge. Maybe you've felt nervous about saying the wrong thing, or you've been embarrassed when someone didn't understand you. That fear can freeze us. But let me tell you something real. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. Every mistake is a stepping stone. Every awkward sentence you say is one step closer to fluency. 2. Not enough speaking practice. Many learners spend hours reading and writing, but when it comes to speaking, silence. But fluency is like a muscle. You have to use it to build it. Reading won't make you a speaker. Speaking will. Even if you talk to yourself, it counts. More on that soon. 3. Lack of time. You're busy. Maybe you're juggling school, work, or family. Finding time for English can feel impossible, but here's something I've learned. You don't need hours. Just 15 minutes a day, done consistently, can change everything. The key is not how much. it's how often. 4. Translating from your native language. Have you ever tried to say something in English, but your brain first thinks in your native language and then tries to translate? That slows you down. It creates pressure. What you need is to start thinking in English, even with small thoughts, even with single words. It's a skill that takes time, but I'll show you how to get there. 5. Too many resources, not enough clarity. In 2025, we have thousands of apps, websites, YouTube videos, books, podcasts, and more. But here's the thing, more isn't always better. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. You need a clear path, not a giant maze. So let's do something together now. Let's shift from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. Because here's what I believe. The right mindset, paired with small, consistent actions, is more powerful than any textbook. So let's move into solutions. Let's talk about what actually works and what you can start doing today. 1. Be consistent, even if it's only 10 to 15 minutes a day. You don't need to wait for the perfect study session. Start where you are. You could listen to a short podcast like this one while brushing your teeth. You could review 5 vocabulary words during lunch. The goal is daily contact with English, even if it's short. That builds fluency. 2. Create your English routine. Find a time in your day that's predictable. Maybe your commute, your walk, or right before bed. Make it a habit. Same time, same focus. Over time, your brain starts preparing to switch into English mode at that time. 3. Surround yourself with English. Change your phone's language settings. Watch your favorite shows with English subtitles. Play English music in the background. The more you surround yourself with the sound and rhythm of English, the more natural it becomes. 4. Practice speaking, even alone. If you don't have a speaking partner, that's okay. Speak out loud to yourself. Describe what you're doing. Narrate your day. Say things like, "Now I'm washing the dishes," or "I need to reply to this email." You're training your brain to think in English. 5. Use voice-based AI or language apps. There are apps today that can listen to your pronunciation and give real-time feedback. This is huge. It's like having a personal coach in your pocket. Use tools that correct your grammar, test your vocabulary, and even simulate conversations. We'll dive deeper into those tools in part 2 of this episode, including some of my personal recommendations for 2025. But for now, I want you to pause and reflect. What's one small thing you can do today? Maybe it's repeating some of the phrases I used in this episode. Maybe it's writing down 3 new words and using them in a sentence. Or maybe it's simply saying to yourself, "I'm ready to speak English with more confidence." Because you are. You don't need permission to start. And you're not alone. I'm right here with you, cheering you on. That's all for part 1. When you're ready, just let me know, and I'll share part 2, where we'll talk about the most exciting tools and trends in 2025 that can supercharge your English learning. Can't wait to keep going with you. Welcome back, my friend. This is Emily, and I'm so glad you're here with me again on English in Ease. In part 1, we talked about what makes fluency such a valuable skill in today's world and how the biggest barriers, like fear, time, and lack of clarity, can be overcome with small, consistent steps. Now, in part 2, I want to share something even more exciting with you. The amazing tools and trends we have in 2025 that make speaking English easier, faster, and, yes, actually fun. Whether you're a visual learner, a social learner, or someone who thrives on structure, there's something for you. And I'll walk you through how to use these tools effectively, so you're not just collecting apps, you're building real fluency, day by day. Let's start with something that's changed the game for language learners around the world. AI-powered language tools. You've probably already heard of AI, right? But did you know that in 2025, many English learners are using it not just to translate, but to practice real conversations? For example, imagine having a conversation with a virtual speaking partner who never gets tired, never judges you, and can gently correct your mistakes in real time. Apps like ChatGPT are now integrated with speech feedback systems. You can say something like, "Hey, I want to practice ordering coffee," and the AI responds as a barista. You talk, it listens, and it gives you feedback, not only on grammar, but also on pronunciation, tone, and fluency. It's like having a private tutor in your pocket 24/7. And here's the best part, it's customizable. You can practice talking about your niche, whether that's marketing, education, tech, or even something like cooking. These tools adapt to you. So if you're tired of generic lessons, try this. Next time you're practicing, open a voice-based AI app and have a 5-minute conversation about a topic you care about. It's simple, personal, and powerful. Now, let's go one step further. Virtual reality, VR, for English practice. This might sound futuristic, but it's real. And it's becoming more accessible. With a VR headset, you can walk into a digital coffee shop in London, have a chat with a virtual waiter, or even attend a simulated job interview. You're not just reading dialogues, you're living them. Why is this so effective? Because our brains remember experiences more than information. When you experience English in a lifelike setting, even virtually, your brain begins to treat English as something real and usable, not just something to memorize. And even if you don't have a VR headset, there are simulated apps on your phone or computer that offer similar immersive environments. Look for apps labeled as conversation simulators or language VR rooms. These can be a great way to get out of the textbook and into the world. If you're more of a people person, you'll love this next one: online language exchange platforms. Now more than ever, platforms like Italki, Tandem, and HelloTalk connect you with native speakers or fellow learners across the globe. Imagine talking to someone in Canada while you're sipping tea in Vietnam. You help them with your native language, and they help you with English. It's not just language learning, it's cultural exchange. One of my students found a speaking partner in New Zealand. They've never met in person, but every Sunday they meet online for 30 minutes. They practice small talk, give each other feedback, and sometimes just laugh over idioms and phrases that don't make sense. It's authentic. And that kind of regular, low-pressure conversation builds confidence like nothing else. Let's talk about another trend that's surprisingly effective: speech recognition and pronunciation coaching. Many of the newest apps now include speech recognition technology that doesn't just hear you, it analyzes your voice. These apps can tell you if your vowel sounds are off, if your sentence rhythm feels unnatural, or if you're placing stress in the wrong syllables. It's like having a mirror for your voice. Try it. Choose a sentence, speak it aloud, and let the app show you where you can improve. Then try again. You'll be amazed at how quickly your fluency improves once you start noticing patterns in your own speaking. Of course, we can't skip one of the most motivating trends out there: gamified learning. Learning should never feel like punishment. That's why platforms like Duolingo, Memrise, and WordUp turn learning into a game. With rewards, levels, streaks, and fun characters cheering you on. In 2025, these apps are smarter than ever. They track what words you struggle with, which grammar points you forget, and adjust your lessons in real time. And they make it feel like a challenge, not a chore. If you love a bit of competition or structure, I recommend setting a daily streak goal. Even just 5 to 10 minutes a day on a gamified platform can add up to huge progress over time. Another trend I really love is something called micro-learning. We're all busy. That's why micro-learning breaks information into bite-sized pieces you can learn quickly, on your coffee break, on the train, or while brushing your teeth. Microlearning platforms focus on just one small thing at a time. One phrasal verb, one pronunciation rule, one common mistake. That's it. You can build your own microlearning plan. Try this. Monday, learn one new idiom and use it in a sentence. Tuesday, shadow a 1-minute clip from a native speaker. Wednesday, record yourself saying a 3-line dialogue. Thursday, listen to a mini podcast on your walk. Friday, review what you learned this week. Simple, focused, effective. Speaking of shadowing, that's another tool I recommend to almost every learner. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and repeat exactly what they say, in real time. It trains your ear, your mouth, and your brain all at once. The rhythm, the stress, the pronunciation, it all becomes more natural. You start speaking not just correctly, but fluently. Start with short clips, maybe 10 to 15 seconds, and mimic them as closely as possible. You can even shadow me in this podcast if you'd like. Just pause, repeat after me, and then play again. Trust me, it's one of the most powerful fluency builders out there. Finally, I want to touch on something that often gets overlooked: creating your own English content. In 2025, learners aren't just consuming content, they're creating it. And that's a great thing. Start a mini vlog in English, write a short blog post each week, record yourself reading a paragraph aloud, or even start a little podcast like this one, just for practice. You don't have to publish it. You just have to create it. Because when you create in English, you take ownership of the language. It's no longer something you're learning. It becomes something you use. So, let's take a breath. That was a lot, I know. But let me remind you, you don't need to use every tool. Just start with one. Pick the one that fits your style. Maybe you're excited to try a language exchange partner. Maybe you want to explore AI conversation apps. Maybe you just want to start speaking out loud to yourself every morning. That's enough. You're not falling behind. You're exactly where you need to be. In the final part of this episode, we're going to shift gears. I'll walk you through the emotional side of fluency, motivation, consistency, and the mental habits that make the difference between quitting and thriving. Hi again, my friend, it's Emily, and welcome to the final part of our journey together in this special episode of English in Ease. So far, we've talked about what fluency really means in today's world, the common challenges that hold us back, and the incredible tools and trends in 2025 that can help you move forward faster and more naturally. But now, let's talk about the part that truly keeps everything going: your motivation. Because the truth is, you can have all the apps in the world, the best AI tools, the perfect study plan. But if your heart isn't in it, if your mindset isn't clear, it becomes hard to keep going. That's why today, I want to speak to the part of you that sometimes feels tired, or discouraged, or uncertain about whether you're really improving. If that's you, this part is just for you. Let me start with a reminder. Fluency is not a destination. It's a process. You don't just wake up one day and say, "Now I'm fluent." It doesn't work that way. And it's okay that it doesn't. Because fluency isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about becoming more comfortable, more confident, and more expressive, one small step at a time. Every time you listen to an English podcast like this, you're making progress. Every time you speak out loud, even if no one hears you, you're building your fluency muscle. Every time you understand a sentence that you didn't before, that's fluency growing inside of you. And I know, it doesn't always feel fast. But let me ask you, when was the last time you gave yourself credit for how far you've come? Let's take a moment. Think back to 6 months ago. What was your English like then? Were you afraid to speak? Did you avoid watching videos without subtitles? Did you only know a few basic phrases? Now compare that to today. Even if you feel like your progress is small, I promise you, it's happening. You're understanding more. You're thinking more in English. You're recognizing patterns and sounds. You're here, listening to this podcast, trying to grow. That is the work. That's what fluency is built on. Now, I want to give you a few mindset tools that I personally use when learning a new language. Or really, anytime I'm trying to master a skill. These aren't just motivational quotes. These are mental habits you can practice, starting today. 1. Focus on small wins. Instead of waiting until you feel fluent, celebrate the tiny moments, like understanding a joke in an English video, or ordering coffee without hesitation, or finishing a whole English podcast episode without pausing. Write those wins down. Keep a language journal where you record your progress. It will remind you that you are moving forward. 2. Talk to yourself with kindness. This one's big. We often speak to ourselves in ways we'd never speak to a friend. If you make a mistake, don't say, "I'm so bad at English." Instead, say, "That was tricky, but I'm learning." Encourage yourself. Be your own cheerleader. You are doing something brave by learning a new language. It deserves your compassion, not your criticism. 3. Detach from comparison. Maybe you've seen someone on Instagram who speaks English perfectly, or maybe your classmate seems more fluent than you. But you don't know their full story. You don't know how long they've been practicing, or what kind of access they've had to resources, tutors, or travel. Their path is not your path. You are learning at your own pace, and that pace is just right for you. 4. Build rituals, not pressure. Instead of saying, "I have to study English," try saying, "This is my time to connect with English." Make it a ritual, something that feels gentle, peaceful, and personal. Light a candle. Sit by a window. Play calming music. Let your English practice become a part of your self-care, not your stress. And here's one more mindset I want to share. Let fluency be joyful. Learning a language should be fun. It should feel like play, not punishment. Watch shows you love, even silly ones. Dance around to English songs. Laugh at your own mistakes. Make silly voices when shadowing. Record goofy dialogues with a friend. The more you enjoy English, the more natural it becomes. That's what makes it stick. Before we wrap up, I want to invite you to do a little reflection exercise with me. You can say the answers out loud or just think them in your mind. Ready? Question 1. Why do you want to become fluent in English? Take a moment and really feel your answer. Is it for your career? For travel? For connection? Is it because you want to study abroad? Or express yourself freely? Hold that reason close. Let it fuel you. Question 2. What's one small daily habit you can start this week? Not a huge plan, just one thing. Maybe listening to a 5-minute podcast every morning, or writing one sentence a day in your journal, or practicing one phrase out loud before bed. Let it be simple. Let it be doable. And finally, question 3. How will you encourage yourself when you feel stuck? Because that moment will come. It always does. Will you take a break? Call a friend? Listen to a favorite English song? Whatever it is, make a plan now. So when that hard moment hits, you're ready with kindness. Fluency is not some far-off mountain you climb once and then forget. It's a garden. You water it, you tend it, and over time, it blooms. Even when you don't see the growth right away, something is happening beneath the surface. Trust it. Keep going. And know that I'm right here with you, cheering you on, every step of the way. So as we close today's episode, here's what I want you to remember. Fluency in English is not just for other people. It's for you. With consistent practice, the right tools, and a gentle, confident mindset, You can speak English clearly, naturally, and with ease. One word at a time, one phrase at a time, one conversation at a time. You've got this. And when you need support, come back here. Re-listen, practice, breathe. I'll be here, waiting for you, with a new topic, a fresh story, and more peaceful English lessons designed just for learners like you. Until then, keep practicing, keep growing, and always remember, you're doing better than you think. Thanks for being here with me. I'm Emily, and this was English in Ease. Take care, and see you next time.